Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Parks and Rec Commission. Tonight being January 12th, 2021, so welcome to the new year. Hopefully everybody had good holidays and successful and happy new year. Looks like everybody made it so far without any to compromise themselves, so that's good. I'll get a call to order. We can do so. Kathy?
A roll call.
Okay.
Roll call, sorry.
Roll call, okay. Okay, Chairperson Polican,
Here?
Commissioner Gummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Byram, Commissioner Gorman,
Here.
Commissioner Moss,
Here.
Commissioner Cabato.
Here.
All right, with that being said, that's the roll call. Thank you, Buzz, for that one. The next step we're going to do is the approval of the agenda for tonight. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
All right, do I have a second?
I second.
All right, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, hearing none opposed, we'll move on to item number 4, the approval of minutes of November 10th, 2020, our regularly scheduled last visit. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they are posted?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 10th meeting.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, hearing none opposed, we'll move on to the next scheduled announcements. First one's up going to be our programs, classes, and special events. And Bobby, how are you, sir? How are you doing?
Doing very well. Good evening, guys. Welcome back after the holidays. Hope everybody had a great one.
It was awesome.
So we had a very busy holiday season. One of the first events that we did in December on the 5th was Santa's North Pole Village. We had around 250 people come out for that special event. Everybody was very excited to do the parade, come in, hang out, get a little bit of a tour, actually here in the library on the 3rd floor. Staff did a great job setting this thing up. It looked amazing. Santa was awesome at this event, and we had a lot of compliments on it, so wanted to give you guys a little update there. Signals AZ was also out here with Carrie Magnuson Photography, and they took some very professional photos, so wanted to thank them again as well. Our New Year's Eve event this year went off without a hitch, just like usual. About 250 in attendance there as well. We had smoked eats, sweet treats, a new food vendor here in the area, provide great barbecue, smoke actual brownies as well. Those are pretty dynamite, so if they're out at another event, I definitely recommend you guys trying them out. So good.
Talking brownies?
They are brownies, smoked brownies and smoked cookies. I'd never tried it before. Pretty delicious.
Okay.
We had PVPD, thank them for coming out to do hot cocoa, and then we also had CAFMA on site with an engine, and they were also providing s'mores. So it was just a really nice evening with families out here enjoying some time before the new year hit. Great fireworks show. Staff did an awesome job at that one too.
How was the attendance versus last year?
So it was a little lower this year. It was definitely very cold. We have some ideas for next year for a few new things to do and a couple ideas on the table. Obviously, we definitely thought that attendance would be a little bit lower. I think we're around 400 last year, somewhere in that realm, maybe north of that. But 250, I was very happy with the attendance.
I would be too.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what? Prescott Valley was the only tribe in the area to have our Christmas activities.
Yes, sir. We
Goes
made
to
sure it went
TV.
off.
You know, you have to really think Christmas is for kids. And so I guess you did pretty well then, huh?
Yes, ma'am. We will take that. There were a lot of families out. It was pretty cute to see the kids just out running around, enjoying themselves. Kept social distancing in place and let people kind of police themselves. Everybody just enjoyed it. So
Good.
Very happy. Moving on to some of the classes and programs, one thing that we were asked to do is put together numbers of classes, programs, participation, things like that over the course of the last year, which would be January 1 of 2020 up to December of 2020. For classes, program participation, total number of programs, we had 26. Total of instructors was 12. And the total classes offered from these programs programs is 2015. So I really like what Bryce is doing with the classes. We still made sure that we had offerings for the community, and I think it really shows. Some of our numbers are obviously going to be down a little bit this year due to some of the things that have been going on. But in a breakdown of the total number of students, ages 0 to 5, we had 365, 6 to 11, 1,169, 12 to 17, 342, and the 18 to 59 range, 717, and then even in the 60 plus, 2,788 participants. So we had a good year no matter what, not fiscal year, but obviously calendar year, and I wanted to highlight that here in the slides.
I have a question
Yes,
about
ma'am.
classes, because I know that they're lower. Obviously, they're smaller classes because of the protocol for the virus. What are your expectations or your planning going forward once summer's here? And I'm going to assume most people have been vaccinated, or the ones that want to be.
Yeah.
For the general public, do you have any plans on stepping up more classes or not?
So currently, we're just taking it kind of month by month, seeing exactly what's going on. We're not looking to cut anything out of there. We'll keep those protocols in place that we have so people can enjoy as they are now. But whenever we're able to safely resume normal operations, then we'll obviously be trying to get more classes in the mix, more offerings for all the different age groups, and hit the ground running, if you will.
Bobby, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are your instructors paid staff or contractors?
They are contracted. So for upcoming recreation classes, we got dance fitness that takes place 9 to 9:50 a.m. Complete fitness is Mondays 10 to 10:15. We do have karate Mondays 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. Saturdays 6 to 7:15 p.m. and then yoga, tai chi, and qigong Wednesdays 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. So those are some other the newest class offerings that we have that people can take advantage of. Upcoming classes that people are definitely able to register for over the phone, give us a call at 759-3090 or on our online registration software at pvaz.net. Basic dog obedience, that's going to start up Tuesday, February the 23rd. It's a 6-week session. Classes meet once a week, $150 for the entire session, and you do have an instructor. So dog obedience usually does pretty well in this area. So we're looking forward to it. Hula dancing, beginner class is going to be Saturday, February 20th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. And then an advanced class, Saturday, February 20th, and that'll be from 9 till 1. For the beginners, it'll be $15 per student, and advanced class is going to be $40 per student. With private dance lessons, they're offered as monthly sessions, and for the upcoming ones, they're on Fridays in February, the 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. That'll be $200 for the entire session. And then Saturdays, February 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th, also $200 for the session. So we do have some new offerings coming up, and we're always looking for new instructors. So anybody that's interested, you can always give us a call at 3090 and talk to Bryce. She'll get you laid out. We'll see what we need to do.
I have a question about the basic dog obedience.
Yes, sir.
What time on Tuesdays?
So on Tuesday, that's going to be in the evenings. I think we're still working out just spatial time because we've been offering that one over at the Boys and Girls Club. So it's in the evening, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So then, moving on. Unless anybody has any other questions on upcoming classes, any past events, anything like that?
Nothing on my end, no.
Okay, perfect. Chairman?
Department update. What's next?
Oh, yes, I apologize. So one thing that I actually didn't have a slide on, and if you don't mind if we move on to item 6B, Chairman?
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. I didn't put a slide in here, but I just wanted to make sure you guys had an update. Something that we're always very proud of, the Tree City USA designation. We got our application in for that, as well as the Growth Award. We're waiting to hear back on which ones, if we got both, if we got one or the other. So once we hear back and we have final on that, I'll definitely come back in, make sure we report on that as well.
Very good. And we're looking at forming a committee, right? Shortly
Yes, sir.
For that Tree Advisory Board?
Yes, sir. So with the Tree Advisory Board, forming that committee, what we're going to be looking at doing, AZ Game and Fish and the Forestry Department, they had asked us for an urban forestry management plan. And putting that together is going to be something we're going to be looking to do in the upcoming year. So we'll definitely be looking for your input as commission members on that type of a committee.
Okay. So we'll kind of hash that out and see if anybody has any interest to be on that committee themselves and have some input. And I've been on it myself. I know Buzz has as well.
And Bill would be that's right up his alley right there.
Yeah, Bill's had some great experience on it as well. So we've had some pretty good input and pretty, I guess, revolutionary talks when it comes down to that Tree Advisory Board. So
Yes, sir.
Yep, very good. Any questions on the Tree Advisory 6B there? Those items? Applications in, that sounds good. We'll take a step back, go to 6A for the chairperson's report. I don't have much to report on. I did partake in a few of those annual events, the scheduled programs and sessions. And, as I always say, the programs that are put on by the town of Prescott Valley are second to none. The programs are from kids to, my age group, I guess I'm still a kid, but they're always on par, always well communicated. The Rec One program, I think, is a fantastic software you guys have, as long as those platforms are continued to be utilized, and keep up the good work in those areas. It's just functionally available, and I think Buzz has repeated this 100 times over again. If you can't find something to do in the town of Prescott Valley, you're not looking hard enough.
Agreed.
So kind of keep up the good work for sure. We'll move on to, unless anybody has any questions or concerns on that chairperson's report, pretty off the cuff, as they say. We'll go to number 7A, old business, as the spray pad update.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. So, like I said, we've been busy over the holiday season. We have our spray pad that's going in at Bob Edwards. It's ready to go. We have contracts in the mix. We have orders in for all the products that we're going to need. The only thing that we are still waiting on, and I wanted to wait until I got to this meeting to share it with the commissioners, is colors of the spray pad. We had two different options that we kind of came up with in the department, and then I wanted to see what your thoughts and opinions were on it. Option number one, Isabella, she's obviously arts and culture coordinator. She has a great eye for color and things of that nature. This first option she had come up with, and I think it's great. What she kind of based it off of was an Arizona sunset, and I thought that was very fitting for what we're doing out at that spray pad. With our second option, it's more of just a traditional color pattern. If you've seen the playground over at George Anderson, it kind of mimics that same color scheme. So I wanted you guys to be able to see it conceptually for both different color sequences and see if you guys had any thoughts or ideas, which one you may be leaning towards more or less, things like that.
Any input at all from the board?
I like the first one. I like the different colors. Also, the wheelchairs, these are their wheelchairs. You're not going to offer wheelchairs, right?
So with anything ADA required, if we needed to get something out there, we absolutely would. The reason that the wheelchair is there is because the vertical spray features that we had chosen enable anybody with an ADA or a need would be able to utilize this spray pad.
Okay, it's a great idea. So I like this one. I have a question about it too. It may seem silly, and you probably have great paint or whatever So it's not going to fade, or does it have to be maintained every year to be painted?
So it will still need to be maintained. That's powder coated after the different spray features are all manufactured and things of that nature. They'll be sent out. They'll be bead blasted. They'll get powder coated, and then they'll get that top layer of paint with a seal coat. But we will still have I want to say maybe around 5 to 8 years. Obviously, the sun beats down on it, a lot of water running into it. So we will have to do some maintenance and upkeep. Paint fades, that's how it goes. But yes, that's one of the aspects of the spray pad that we're taking into account is the upkeep.
I think the talk about this spray pad, the excitement that's what, I think we need to make it as vibrant as we can. I think it needs to really stand out and pop and let everybody know. I like the first choice also. I like that vibrant yellow, and the more color, the better.
Happy colors.
Yeah. It actually, all those colors that Isabella had thrown together, like I said, I can't compliment her enough. I'm always more so simple is better, and then she put together a bunch of different colors, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So, like I said, your guys' input, that's going to spark the way we go with these colors.
Colors look different with water on them, too. And the sun hitting them, so I think it's really, really
Bobby,
going to look good.
Can you cycle to the next example on slide 2 there, just so we can get a perspective on the screen? Thank you.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And like I said, this one's more just 3-color palette. Everything's pretty standard. Kind of took it. I am partial to the color scheme of George Anderson, so took that one off of there. But still vibrant, absolutely, but more just earth tones, less Arizona sunset, obviously. So I wanted you guys to see 2 extreme differences.
Gotcha. Gary, anything at all? on your
Yeah,
end?
I think the first one looks really.
Like number 1.
What?
I had nothing to add.
Nice.
I agree with everyone else.
Perfect. Okay.
I think we're all in kind of agreement. I don't think we need to do a motion or anything of that nature.
Okay.
But I think the spray pad one option does look very vibrant, does have some really good color that blasts, and I think it's going to be a good option for the community.
Excellent.
Just out of curiosity, have they come to a conclusion of the composition of the surfacing?
So the surfacing is going to be coming in. It's just going to be a rough broom finish concrete, so it's easy for us to maintain. We don't have any pebble flex type of large monetary issues when it gets to its shelf life of like 8 years. So with the rough broom finish, it'll obviously alleviate most of the slip hazards and things like that. Please, when this thing's done though, anybody that's listening in the community, don't run around on it too much and just have a good time in the water.
Wait a minute, you're asking kids not to run?
No, absolutely not. We have grass, no, I'm just kidding. Everybody will have a great time on this. That flooring will do just fine for what we need.
It's going to be slip resistant as much as you can.
Yes.
So how is that going to be on their feet? Should they be wearing like swim shoes?
I would recommend swim shoes. I absolutely would. Just like with anything when you're running around on concrete, anything that's not steel trowel finished, you probably want to wear shoes on it.
Would there be warnings, or would you put a sign up saying it would be better to wear shoes?
Yes, ma'am. So with the rules that we want to make sure that we get posted out there, and also kind of running people through, since it'll be participant operated with the touch sensor there on the left side of the page, running people through that, we'll make sure that we also note out we recommend wearing aqua shoes or river shoes, something like that. But if you want to, you can go barefoot.
Very good.
How would you enforce the rules?
So with the rule options of it is going to be more so placed on each individual citizen. The rules being out there for their knowledge base, letting them know how to operate the spray pad, how to enjoy it safely. But since we won't have somebody out there 24/7 to enforce rules, we're hoping that the citizens will kind of just patrol themselves.
Nice hope.
Exactly.
Will someone be there like busy times, Saturdays, Sundays? Will someone ever be there overlooking it, or?
So we won't have anybody specifically scheduled to be overlooking it at busy times or anything like that. It will get inspected daily. With our operations being 7 days a week, somebody will be out there in that park in the morning every single day, take a look through, make sure that it's functional, operational, safe, and if anything needs to be cleaned up or anything like that, we'll get that taken care of. But other than that, any time of day during the hours of operation, any citizen here in town can come over and take full advantage of it.
So I'm assuming that you've done your research on other splash pads and other cities, and that there is no need to have it overseen?
Correct, yeah. Since we don't have it fenced in a facility like we do at Mountain Valley Splash, and this one is just free for everybody to operate, it's under your own assumed risk that you're going to be using it pretty much with anything, like you do. But it's pretty safe considering. Okay.
And parents will kind of watch their own children. They'll make sure that nothing really happens to the kids. I've been there and done that.
Yes, sir.
And the only problem I could see would maybe be a few older kids want to come and run through it, and they, sometimes they bump into the small ones. But as a parent, I would have no trouble standing up saying, "Hey, watch out for the little ones."
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's usually policed pretty well by parents.
Yes, sir.
So they're not going to have a carload open the doors and say, "I'll pick you up in 2 hours."
Well,
they won't do that.
Yeah. I'm not a parent yet, so I can't tell you that. I know I would not. However,
you're right.
Exactly.
However,
there will be some.
big word there.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for overall perspective, for those that are familiar with the area, it's going to be close proximity to the pavilion at Bob Edwards Park. Is that the perspective site, correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
So yeah, right there off of the left side of it, if you will, or the west side of the park.
Okay.
So that'll be right there.
Very good. Have they looked at, we talked about the infrastructure and all that, and then the whole water reclamation process that's already been developed and conceptualized and everything of that nature?
Yes, sir. That's all good to go. We have that contract in. We have them manufacturing that right now. We should be getting our tank in around 6 weeks, and then we'll get that installed. Once we get our 100% complete construction documents for the actual spray pad, then we'll be able to get the water meter installed and then get the piping down to where they need it at our construction area. And I believe we're currently 12 weeks out middle of March is when we're scheduled for them to come in here and get ground broken and then get it completed as quickly as they can.
How long are we looking at for completion?
They've been letting us know construction process should really only take them about 3 weeks, but they told us give them a month at maximum, just in case if there's any manufacturing issues or shipping issues, things like that.
It'll be here then by early summer.
Yes, it will be.
Very good. I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting.
And we're still doing the barrier from the parking lot to the...
We are, yes, sir. We've been, in our commission meeting, we've been talking about the different gates or possibilities of things like that. We were asked to investigate costs to have a block wall put up on the north side of the splash pad and the west side of the splash pad, so that'd be a nice barrier between the parking lot with a cap on top, so then parents who are out there hanging out with the kids, you have a spot to sit, it's still close to the spray pad, and it also acts as a barrier. Looks nice, the aesthetics and things like that would be good too. So once we're able to get that back, we'll know which way we'll be able to go with the barrier from there.
Awesome.
You already have rules established for splash pads, right?
We do, yes, sir.
Do they go through a legal review prior to promulgation?
So everything that we do post goes through our legal department, and most of the time we'll adopt the industry standard on the rules for these types of spray pads, but even with that, it'll still go to our legal department so then they can review it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Great questions. I think we are very well informed, and
I think so.
hopefully the public is as well. And I think
I'm excited about it.
there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement in regards to this particular element, to the addition of our Parks and Rec Commission and overall, I guess, resources. Any other questions, concerns, comments? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 7B, the scholarship system donation update.
And with this update, I just wanted to hopefully continue keeping the traction going with the scholarship/donation system. We're at 4 donations right now. I don't have a current total or anything like that, but the first time we talked about it, we had 1 donation for $5, and we're already up to 4. Obviously, getting the word out there is something that I want to make sure we do. It's a very worthwhile program, and just reminding people that you have that opportunity to donate to help out somebody else who may not be able to take a class or do swimming lessons or do something else like that. So just wanted to make note of it.
Gotcha. So that's a scholarship program for internal programs for the Parks and Rec,
Yes, sir.
as well as classes and additional resources maybe that a family or individuals can generally afford themselves.
Yes, sir.
Very good. I think that's a valid and very just place, because I think our community can see a need for the lower incomes or potentially the needy individuals that just need a little boost to take a swimming lessons,
Yep.
and that can build somebody's confidence greatly. So I think that's a great program to have.
And I think once we get word out more and we get programs going, and it's going to kick off. I mean, we can do fundraisers, we can do all kinds of things, and make fun events, and just accept donations. It'd be awesome.
Sky's the limit.
You bet.
For advertising, do you, as a community service, and you advertise on the radio for free?
We anytime we advertise with the radio, and we have different other radio spots, and yes, we do get that for free. Those are things that we will talk about or make sure that we note it in there. A lot of times we're going in talking about the events and things like that, and anytime we can get advertising or promotional things in there, we always do.
Good, all right.
Can we utilize Channel 56?
We absolutely can. That's something else.
Can we
that
start
could get
doing
in
like
there.
maybe a rec wrap show or something? and
absolutely.
update our public on what's happening every month and what we're trying to achieve and where we're going. And
That's a great idea.
yeah, and once in a while I see sometimes we have a council chat on that channel. If we could maybe get invited to something like that, get the word out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think we could do our own show. I think it'd be awesome to have a half-hour recreation show, letting everybody know. Because, like I say, some people don't come to the meeting much, but I know some people actually watch.
Exactly.
And I think Channel 56.
And the new classes coming up
Oh, you bet.
would be another topic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Any little
Obedience.
thing.
All
We
of
can
our-
definitely investigate that. That sounds like a great medium for us to get more of the word out there for sure.
bet.
Call it Buzz and Friends.
Hey,
I like that.
If we can get them to watch, I'll show up.
All right, that sounds good. I think that's, again, a very valued asset that we have for our community to contribute to individuals around our community. So we'll move on to new business. Item 8A, the Mountain Valley Park restroom, which I think is a well-needed and very timely addition.
Absolutely. So before the holidays hit and at our last meeting in November, I know I had spoken with just about every commission member, about having a restroom coming up and being in the mix. With me saying it was a busy holiday season, it's been a busy holiday season. We already have a location. We already have plans. I already have conceptuals. I have a lot of different things to basically present on and to the commission today. As you can see, the conceptual down in the left-hand corner there is showing you what the front or southern side of our new restroom building is going to look like. It is modeled off of a different restroom facility from a sports complex down in Phoenix. We went down there, did a site visit. Really, really nice restroom. Something that the park has needed for sure. In the top right-hand corner picture, you can see its location in the blue square that is just north of the current pavilion and west of the current restroom facility. And to give you guys some of what's going to be going into this restroom, we'll be expanding the square footage and fixtures/stalls that are available for people to utilize, because obviously during tournament time, our bathrooms get hit pretty hard. Stainless steel fixtures will be in there, so those are, tamper-proof. They stay nice. They're easy to clean up and fix and things like that. They will have heaters inside the buildings. It's not going to turn into a really comfortable room in the winter, but it will help us to not have pipes, toilets, anything like that freeze in the winter, so still usable. There will be 20-foot high ceilings, so instead of feeling like you're going into kind of a dungeon or a cave, very open, vibrant. You're going to have a lot of natural light and things like that in there. And, standard hand dryers, things of that nature.
Hand dryers, could you have the ones that really blow out a lot of air? Because that really works.
Yeah.
The other ones don't.
Yes, we kind of talked about these things when we were meeting with the architect, making sure that they were something that were going to be hardy enough for us to take care of the tournament foot traffic that we're going to have in there. So we've been told it should be very nice.
Good.
And, with the 20-foot ceilings, it's nice, too, because the kids, it's harder to throw the toilet paper and get it stuck.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have a really good arm to get up there. Looking at the building footprint and the layout, I gave you all the elevations as well as the building footprint itself. Up there in the top left-hand corner, you can see that the overall size is going to be just under 1,200 square feet. The current restroom facility that we have is about 405 square feet, so we're looking, quite a bit larger. With the facility, it'll be constructed out of block. With the way the roof is pitched and having those 20-foot ceilings in there, like Commissioner Gummer had said, it'll be a little bit harder for people to try to bust out lights. We are going with recessed LED lights to also help alleviate some of those other issues that you kind of touched on right there. But the bathroom layout is something that actually I was very impressed with when we went down to take a look at it. With this restroom, a little bit of the square footage will be cut off from what we have for patrons to use, since we do have a little storage room on the back end of that, which that'll help us to keep some equipment a little closer to Soccer One and be able to get that without having to drive through the park to get to some of our other storage sheds and things like that. So we wanted to make sure that we had that included as well. We have not got to the 100% plans just yet. We've been locating some of the utilities out in the area that we've decided to go with, but we still need to pick colors. If we go back 2 slides, as you can see, it's going to be expanded metal up on top of the block and right below the roof line there. And that's something we'll still need to talk about, but that's a little bit down the road. So just making sure that I had gotten all of our commissioners up to speed with what we've been working on and how much progress we made is what I was hoping to do. And if you had any other questions, I wanted to make sure I answered them at this time.
This one we didn't talk about water fountain.
So there will actually be water fountains on this. We're trying to put them back in there. They're in the front entry. If you look at the lower left-hand corner, it doesn't show it in the conceptual, but we will have water fountains right there. Obviously, it's hot out there. We know the problems we have with water fountains, but we're trying to reintegrate them, if you will, so then people have, another spot to fill up a bottle of water. And if we do run into issues, we'll make some changes.
Their availability to put a bottle fill station just due to the high level of sport activities.
Yeah.
Just that integration of, filling up a bottle, save a bottle type deal. Is that appropriate for that response?
Yeah, and that's absolutely a possibility. We're investigating that portion because obviously with the bottle fillers, sometimes it's a little more breakable type of attachment. So we're going through the vendor and seeing if there's something else that we can get to make that more appropriate for the exterior and in that location.
And one of the thoughts that just comes to mind, if that being recessed, is there availability when this restroom is closed to exclude that off from being exposed after hours type deal?
There is potential for that. We usually, since we won't lock down our restrooms except for in the winter when we no longer have water running to them, so then the pipes in the ground won't freeze and things like that, we usually would not lock that off, but that's absolutely a possibility if we were running into those kind of issues.
Right. Looks like a fantastic addition to Mountain Valley Park, and I think it's well needed and well earned restroom site.
Absolutely.
Got 2 on there, actually 1.5, I guess, but this one would be a better addition than the others. Yeah.
We'll take it.
Thoughtful.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right. Any other questions or concerns on the new business Mountain Valley Park restroom?
No.
Okay. All right, move on to the new business 8B, budget retreat update.
Casey, our director, had just met with council and the other directors on Friday. So these are some of the things that the council has been asking for from our community services department. Wanted to make sure I shared them with our commissioners so then you guys knew what we were starting to try and plan for and think about. With the first one being support and partnership with the YMCA. I don't have a lot more information for you guys on that one currently, but wanted to make sure you knew that that was something that's in our purview. Installation of cameras at Mountain Valley Skate Park. I know in the past that is something that has been talked about, but that's something that's getting a big push for this year. So we're working with the PD and kind of going back and forth, seeing what we can make work. An update and design for Agua Fria Park is another component that council had asked us for. We haven't jumped into any of these things because, like I had said, we just heard about it on Friday, but these are things that are now on our purview. So once we get there, we'll definitely start sharing. We need to analyze the park system for additional shade structure needs. Shade's always something that's amazing out in our system. So that will be one of them that we start looking into. Where can we better utilize it? Where do we still need it? Things like that. Dog park renovations was pretty open-ended, and that's something that we can start thinking about looking into. We have some ideas, possible donors, things like that already on the slate. So that is definitely something else we're looking at, and that's the dog park in Mountain Valley, just so everyone is clear. Pursuing a long-term intergovernmental agreement with Humboldt Unified School District for field usage, trying to see how we can better partner and possibly have additional fields for some of these 38 tournaments we have coming in next year. Probably won't benefit us for the upcoming year, but obviously for the future, that's something that could be huge for us. So we're going to start work on that. We're being asked to have alcohol at events and adult recreational sporting events. And with that, there's going to be some things we'll have to work through on that one too. But we have alcohol at most of our events when it's a non-COVID year and a virus isn't out. So we can absolutely make some of these other things happen. We're being asked to do an additional drive-in movie and a purchase of our own screen. So that investigation is being pushed through as well, seeing what the finance is going to cost. And then lastly, just improve our marketing for events and classes, make sure that we're really hitting the who, what, where, when, why, and giving all the information possible. Maybe a little redesign, tweak here or there. So we're going to sit down and talk about that as well.
Yeah, one of the things when it comes to this whole list, I think those are all achievable goals, obviously, in this 2-year time frame or this fiscal year of 2021. There's some big ticket items on there, some things that don't seem to be too extraordinary to overcome, just mostly like an IGA type agreement, not so much monetary handed over the table type deal. But I think those, the events marketing, those are one of those things where it's like, hey, what's our focus environment here? Is there more Facebook? Is there more this? Is there more that? Those things can definitely skyrocket it. One of the things that also comes to mind is having those scheduled events continuous throughout the years, just having that repetition, knowing that, hey, the cornball tournament or the cornhole tournament or corn toss tournament, whatever they call it here, is cornball. It is every September or whatever it might be, and it's here and we do it every September, and it's a tradition. It's something that we look forward to. I think those are some things to keep in mind when it comes down to scheduling events. And, like the Polar Bear Splash, for instance, or like our New Year's Eve celebration, those are all prime examples. But just knowing that those events are upcoming, I think are important for continuity.
Yes, sir.
Any questions or concerns on the council recommendation for? Awesome. I think that looks good in that regard. Any unscheduled public appearance? I don't see anybody visiting us tonight other than our lovely audience members. The next is going to be our next scheduled meeting for our regular schedule for February 9th, same location at 5:30 p.m. We have that on their calendar, I hope. we'll see you guys all then. I'll make a motion for adjournment. I'll take a motion,
Before
I
we
guess.
adjourn,
Oh, go ahead.
could we touch on one thing we didn't get the chance to, some of us were out of town for the polar bear splash. Could we kind of review how well that went this year?
Absolutely. I was going to wait until our next meeting since we did it in this month, but you know what? We had a great polar bear splash this year. Even like we've been saying with New Year's, we knew that participation was going to be low. We had around 120 people out there. It was freezing. I was really cold. The water was like 42 degrees. My hands have finally thawed out by today, but it was a really nice event. Sweet Eats and Cool Treats was out there as well. They actually put together an entire breakfast menu for us to come out, serve coffee, take care of breakfast burritos, things like that. We had 26 total polar bears, and we had to do it in 2 different waves. We had to change up our duck slide a little bit, and those are all pictures that I'll make sure that I bring to our next meeting to kind of show you how we had to do a little bit of scaling back since we wanted to make sure we kept the social distancing and things like that. But everybody had a great time. It was a great event.
It's still a huge event. It's just one that everybody looks forward to every year.
Yearly, everybody has a good time. I enjoy it, so always continue that one.
Very good.
Very good. All right, anything else? Nope. All right, I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll see you next time, Prescott Valley. Have a great night.